What if I told you that the reason your life feels chaotic isn't because of the world, but because of how you see it? Think about that for a second. Two people can go through the exact same situation, rejection, failure, disrespect, and yet one of them walks away calm, focused, almost unshaken, while the other spirals into anger, anxiety, and self-doubt. So, what's the difference? It's not luck. It's not talent. It's mindset. And today, Aurelius that can make you mentally untouchable. These are not just ideas. They are weapons. Weapons that can protect your peace in a world that constantly tries to disturb you. But before we dive in, because what you're about to hear might genuinely change how you handle relationships, stress, and even your entire life. Now let me tell you a quick story. A young man once asked a wise teacher, "How do I stop people from hurting me?" The teacher smiled and said, "You don't. You stop letting them. And let go of everything else. This sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest things to truly live by. Most people spend their lives trying to control things, back whether they get approval, validation, respect. And when those things don't go their way, they suffer. But Stoicism teaches something radical, where people judge you, whisper, ignore you, a normal person. Principle thinks differently. They can think whatever they want. That's not mine to control. And just like that, the emotional weight disappears. When you truly, not partially free, completely free, because nothing outside you can shake you anymore. Principle number 2. Your perception creates your reality. Let me ask you something. Has something ever upset you? It's your interpretation that gives them meaning. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it." Another interpretation. They're probably busy. Same event. Two completely different emotional outcomes. The Stoic trains himself to choose the interpretation that preserves his peace, not by lying to himself, but by refusing to jump to negative conclusions. Because once you control your perception, instead of resisting, you accepted everything as if it was meant for you, not in a passive way, not in a weak way, but in a way that says, "This happened. Now I will use it." You say, "This is part of my path." You fail at something important. You don't collapse. You adapt. This mindset turns there's nothing left to disturb you. Principle number 4. Remember how little time you have. This might sound dark, but it's actually stress over small things. Waste energy on meaningless drama. But the Stoics constantly reminded themselves of one truth. That argument doesn't seem worth it. That person's opinion doesn't matter as much. That fear of embarrassment feels smaller. You start focusing on what actually matters, your growth, your peace, your purpose. And when your focus is aligned, like that, disturbances lose their power over you. Principle number 5. You don't have to react. This is where real power begins. Most people are reactive. Someone react. But Stoicism teaches you something most people never realize. There is always a space between what happens and how you respond, and in that space, and move on. That's not weakness. That's control. Because when you stop reacting emotionally, you become unpredictable. Untouchable. And most importantly, at peace. Principle number 6. Focus on becoming a better person, not proving you are one. This one hits deep. A lot of people live their lives trying to prove something to others, to society, even to themselves. They want to be seen as successful, attractive, important. But that constant need to prove creates pressure, anxiety, insecurity, because your self-worth becomes, you focus on being strong. You don't focus on being admired. You focus on being admirable. Quietly, privately. Without needing applause. And when you shift your focus like that, something incredible happens. You stop caring about what people think, because your standard is internal. And when your standard is internal, who truly lives by these principles, you walk into any situation, and they don't get under your skin. You experience setbacks, and you use them instead of being broken by them. That's what Stoicism offers. Not a life without problems, but a mind that cannot be disturbed by them. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. This isn't something you master overnight. It takes practice. Awareness. Discipline. But every time you choose not to react, every time you shift your perspective, every time you let go of what you can't control, simply don't anymore. And that's when you realize the world didn't change. You did. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.